Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's been a while. So happy to be here. Though I feel like we've been live a lot lately with Sleeptember and everything. I'm glad that you're still excited to talk about knitting, to talk about what's going on with us. So happy to have you all here. Hello. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to take this break because I have been doing some sewing. I am prepping. Laura, look at my bra.
Ooh, that's very inspirational. No, that's not the Black Beauty? That is the Black Beauty.
It is the Black Beauty. Yes. I'm prepping. I got to go over my steps, have it fresh.
Love it. I have two almost completed Black Beauties on my shelf. But
Fits perfectly.
Of course it does. I had no doubt.
We'll
but
see.
You're prepping because Allyson and I both are off to Camp Workroom Social.
It came up quick.
Next week, baby. We will be there. That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, Aaron will be there too.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
That is super exciting. Hell
my gosh, Aaron, that's awesome. I did not know that. It must be because Aaron's not taking bra making. Aaron will miss you. You too could have
Aaron,
something
sorry to participate in
like
call-out
this.
culture, but I hope you have an okay time. Yeah, of course you recommended it, Aaron, and I'm glad you specifically are going to be there. It's going to be so great to see you.
Yes.
And you're going to love it. It's going to fill your soul. It's great.
Though I did have a little bit of bad news about camp. I talked to Jennifer, who organizes Camp Workroom Social, yesterday.
Jeans maker extraordinaire.
Yes. She told me that the leaves are peak today, and they will be murdered by the rain over the next week. So we will see 0% beautiful fall foliage.
Well, you know what? I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, whatever. It's still in the beautiful... God, I always forget the mountain range.
The Catskills.
Thank you. The Catskills. It's in the beautiful Catskills. And it's still one of the most beautiful places ever. So even in the rain, it's gonna be glorious. It's just gonna affect shoe choice, really. That's it.
Yeah, shoe choice. And we talk about shoe travel a lot around here because it is a major topic.
Wendy, all right. That's great.
Wendy's gonna be there too. Awesome.
That is awesome.
Wendy, so excited to see you. Yeah, love that. Yeah, shoe travel is a real issue
it really is.
For women who don't want to look like they're slumming hard, want to be cute, but still be able to walk. And
it's impossible.
It's impossible. That doesn't exist.
It's really tough. It's tough out there.
Yeah, it's tough out there for us. But I think that tees us up pretty nicely, Laura. We left 2 weeks ago on a cliffhanger. You were about to travel to the beautiful Scandinavia, and you came back.
Well, actually, this is a fake out. I am still there. I'm never coming home. Yeah, no.
Oh my God, you're literally on the ferry right now.
That's me. The wind
just fjording around.
Yeah. I went to Oslo, Norway, and Copenhagen, Denmark, two distinct countries, very similar cultures. But I did, and then I took a boat betwixt the two. I took an overnight ferry on the recommendation of our beloved Judge Julie. It was great. I spent way too little time there. I am absolutely desperate to head back, but it was a fabulous trip, very inspirational. Shoe choice, I give myself, actually, in the end, about a B+. I do wish I never solved the waterproof shoe situation. Yeah. Luckily, there's only just one big downfall, and then it was just light mist. So my shoe choices were okay, but I gotta figure out that waterproof scenario. I really do.
They don't make waterproof shoes for women because when it rains, we're supposed to just stay inside.
Well, your travel companion is supposed to remove their cape and lay it on any puddles for you to walk over. I
Just
believe
keep
that's what
moving the
Shakespeare
cape.
told me. So nothing's
Yes. Yeah.
changed since then.
So that is clearly the shoe technology has not changed from 1654, which is
Feels like
disappointing.
that is the case. It feels like that's the case. Here's what
Maybe one
all the
day.
Scandi girlies are wearing though. Look at any petite knit pattern, and then what she's wearing is what they're wearing. But they're all in the white sneaker, the with the V on it. They're Veros. They're in that, and then like a chunky platform shoe, which I do like a chunky platform sneak. Those caught my eye in the shop windows for sure. But their tennis shoes, come hell or high water, there's not a galosha in sight. No sandals either. They were just in a closed-toed white sneaker, which is a bold choice.
That was my findings in London last month as well, Laura. Everyone was just in the sneaker, which back in the day when Americans first started going to London, England, and other places in Europe, they used to be able to tell us apart from the natives because we were the only ones in the sneakers. And now they are the only ones in the sneakers. So that's full circle. That's full circle. I don't know.
Part of my travel included going to an opera, an English language opera of all things, in Copenhagen, Denmark, at one of the 3 different opera houses in Copenhagen, Denmark. That's confusing, everyone. But we figured it out, the correct one to go to. But my boyfriend, Brooke, was very concerned about what we were going to be wearing to this matinee opera. And of course, we had to get there very, very early, because he was concerned, and that's fine. Got to manage your anxiety. There was a bar. It was fine. Beautiful space. So we were looking out over a balcony and people watching, and in walked a young man going up the steps to attend this opera at 3 p.m. on a Sunday in a maroon Bass Pro Shop hoodie. So that's what we're doing in Europe. I think they have officially out casualed us all. I do. I believe in my heart that was not an American. I believe that was a European child who bought the Bass Pro Shop hoodie online for irony. And I think that's what's happening.
And now just wears it. What was the age? What's the age range of this human?
I have a hard time understanding how old people are now that I am pushing 40. I don't know what because I look like
amazing. Yeah. 22 if you were a day.
Thank you. That's friendship. But I would say this was a person in their late teens. This was a 19-year-old, maybe. I mean, and they looked great. This man looked great. I mean, he had a nice
Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, he had a good old khaki on. I was too blown away by the Bass Pro Shop to notice the shoe, which is uncharacteristic. But I don't know.
I'm just saying, a sneak.
I'm always very inspired by the Scandi style. And Kara is correct. Doesn't really matter what the young man's wearing. He was there for culture, going to an opera. So that should be encouraged. But it was wild. It was wild times. I was very much inspired by the women. I don't know what the men are doing. They are in completely different buckets style-wise. They're all over the place. The women, they really got it figured out over there.
Yeah. The waistlines are getting higher and higher. And I very distinctly remember watching that movie, Her. Do you remember this?
Totally.
And it was like slightly in the future. And now that future is just like here. And the waistlines are getting higher. Shane got a Banana Republic, I believe, catalog. And those waistlines were high as shit, Laura. They were high.
So the men's waistlines are on the rise because the women's were creeping back down, and I'm stopping at mid-rise. We're gonna park it at mid-rise for the rest of my life, everyone.
Well, the solution here is just to lean really hard into menswear, which I like to do anyway. So if the women's pant rise has gotten too low for you, can I introduce you to a fancy man's slack? Because I think that they were looking good.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
you're
Yeah.
looking good.
If you do have prominent hips, though, you're gonna just need to start sewing for yourself. That's really where it all goes. That's where it all goes. Because
Just straight.
no, I couldn't even fit a leg in there because I have a taper to the upper half of my leg. So it's a beautiful dream. But yes, all these menswear inspired looks that the ladies are doing in Scandinavia, I love, with the giant pleats and the huge long pants and the huge coats. I love the positive ease moment that they have there, but you do have to put a lot of effort into looking so effortless.
Yes.
So I just very much enjoyed the view, but my personal style is impacted very little, if we're being honest.
Well, that's great. It is fun to watch and see what other people are
Oh
doing
my
for
God, it's
sure.
half the fun of travel. It's 3/4
Yeah.
of the fun of travel as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. So.
Just see what's going on over there. Laura, any other highlights from your trip?
Well, I did. If you are keeping up with McDougal on the party, you will know that I was able to check off a huge goal of mine, which was I found my yarn for my annual Leelanau. Once a year, I like to knit the same pattern over and over again, the Leelanau sweater. And it is the perfect sweater as far as I'm concerned. It's raglan with a little bit of lice stitch, and I want one in every color. So this year, I went rogue last year. I knit a white one, which is either no color or every color.
Looks great.
You decide. And this year, I decided to return to the Roy G. Biv. I've done a red, so now it was time to do orange. And orange is challenging. Allyson, you have a statistic about orange yarn, don't you?
Yes, I do. Orange yarn is the least purchased color of yarn of all the colors. Leading yellow is right behind it. I just feel like the party people, we have our own statistics that we like to bring out. I feel like that's not true here. But if you ask yarn companies, orange is the least purchased. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. All orangey yellows.
For me,
bottom of the barrel.
I mean, you can tell by the lipstick shade I'm wearing, by my nail shade. I love an orangey red, like orangey red forever. Orange, orange, orange. I was very much influenced by my grandmother in that way. She claimed it looked great on us, and I just go with it. But I sincerely love orange, and I love rusts. So I was trying to really look for, like, here we have my yarn that I'm using for a porcelain sweater. And this really is like a rust. This is rusty. Porcelain, hey. So I wanted to make sure it really read as orange, and I found, oh yeah, it's more carrot. It's rusty, but boom. Danish yarn, spun and dyed in Denmark. I did it. I was right before I left for the airport. I was thinking I was going to come home empty-handed, but I found it. So I found my Leelanau yarn, which was
gorgeous.
Huge. Thank you. I love it. And yes, I did not find a contrast color there, but that is because I have like a sagey green arbor here at home that I think is going to make a really cool contrast color, like either a light blue or sagey green. And I think that's what I'll use.
You're gonna look like the sexiest like heirloom pumpkin.
That's the vibe. I mean, harvest, queen of the harvest. So I'm very committed to my 2025, I guess, at this point, because our Leelanau knit along, if you want to join me, will be starting in January, which is 2024. But in 2025, I want to stick with Roy G. Biv, and I want to do yellow, and I want to find sunshine, bright sunshiny yellow with like a maroon contrast color. I really think that's the vibe. So it'll just be Harvest Dream for the next
Harvest Dream forever.
Yeah.
Yes. Love that. Leelanau is always a very popular knit along around the party parts. I always, every year, say that I'm going to participate, and I never do. But I think 2024 is my year. No, I think 2024 is going to be my year.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, I already swatched. I already have my yarn. I just haven't taken it to the next level yet. So I'm maybe this year already there. Yeah.
Well, and this year with the knit along, I'm going to make it a little more formal. As you know, I have been doing my Monday night maker work groups that have been so much fun. And this starting in January, my January maker work group is going to be Leelanau focused. So it'll just be You can pop into the Maker Work Group for Leelanau specific help as I do the knit along for the first 2 months of the year. So
Fun.
very fun. It'll be great. And I think, because I know a lot of people have questions, sizing. I know a couple of you have giant Leelanau's that you want to consult about and rip back. So that'll be the big, that's coming in January. I'm very excited. But that was a big, it's hard. I'm trying to get out ahead of things more because we have so much content. So I'm trying to think ahead a little bit, which is difficult because all I want to do is what I want to do in the moment, especially when inspiration strikes. But I just know this is a good investment. So
absolutely. Speaking of inspiration striking, I have seen a couple of times a thing get moved from hand to hand over there, Laura, that has cauldrons on it.
Well, Allyson, can I introduce you to my doodle sock, my witchy doodle sock?
I'm obsessed.
It's hilarious. So this trip, it'll surprise no one. Traveling in Scandinavia, I mean, my love of knitting is just reignited and it feels so good. I'm just in love with our craft. I saw so many sweaters in the wild. I saw no less than 8 Sophie scarves being actively worn on a bicycle riding by me. It was just, I was just like
heaven.
It really, I mean, everywhere was just dripping in inspiration, particularly around color work. So I'm just back in love with knitting, and in particular in love with doodles. So I have been trying to knit through, I've been really inspired by you, Allyson, because you've been knitting through your stash. You've been doing a really good job knitting through your stash.
Laura, can I just interrupt you really quickly?
Oh my God, see?
Because I finished my very V-neck raglan. Well, except for, I guess, some tails.
Incredible. And I have this beautiful, fresh from vacation, La Bandana that my best friend knit for me that was also using stash.
Yes, stash. So this was all stash, and I killed it. Incredible. I don't know how I did it. It's perfect in every way. I'm so excited for it not to be 85 degrees anymore, that I can put this on and take a picture of it. Because stripy V-neck. Thank you, Megan.
I think it's so phenomenal.
Cute.
It's so phenomenal.
I really like the sleeve that I made too.
I love a balloon sleeve.
Isn't it cute?
You look incredible. I love what you've done with the striping, and it's we all love a stripe. We love a stripe.
Yeah,
what a smart way to utilize your stash and to re-fall in love with your stash. So that was part of what I wanted. I'm super inspired by doodles. We've talked a little bit about our holiday sweaters, which I'd love to talk about next. But I'm really using the doodle charts. Let's see if I still got them kicking around here. I do. From Pacific Knits. This doesn't help you. It's just one giant barcode. Here we go. From Pacific Knits. We did this in Maker Work Group this year, and there are so many cute there are 52 different charts in this deck of cards, but the cutest ones were Halloween. And so I just really was waiting for my moment to utilize the cutest chart, which are the Halloween charts. So I started these stupid cauldron socks. I'm certainly only going to have one for the rest of the year, but I mean, it's so fun. Look how shiny my
so cute. Looks. All right, tell me about what's going on with Monsters now.
Yes. So she has, Pacific Knits has different themes. So she has winter, she has mountains, she has, I think, Seattle based, I don't know. And holiday specific. And then she has, on Friday, is releasing monsters. So she's got Frankensteins, she's got mummies, she has Bride of Frankenstein with the hair and the little zoop up.
She is an inspiration of mine.
Truly. So I'm very excited because I think her passions are clear. Jamie of Pacific Knits. I think she just loves Halloween. So she really puts her foot in these charts. And I think this is a great way to expand it out. So she has these cowl patterns that come out and then digital versions of the chart, or you can buy physical cards. But Friday, those monster charts are coming. And I know at least Jason and Elle and I have our eyes peeled. I'm sure.
Well, it sounds like Natalie is too, since Natalie's designing a doodle vest for Halloween for holiday sweater knit along. She's clearly going to need some monsters.
And this was just, and frankly, this was another way to get people brought in, Allyson, to our latest knit along that we kicked off this week because Sleeptember, we set the sun. The sun is set. The prizes were rewarded. It was illustrious.
Yeah, we slayed it. We slayed it all day. Wait, but before we go to that, Laura, do you have room for monsters on that sock?
I think so. I think the foot potentially could be a different monster, but I don't know. I'm just vibing with the cauldrons right now. I think it's just cauldrons all the way, but we'll see. By the time the monsters come out tomorrow, I'll have one more row of cauldrons and it'll be a game time decision. So we'll just see what happens.
Let's see which monster. Maybe there'll be a witch. The witch isn't a monster, but I feel like someone might put her in that category, she might like that. I don't think that that's like true though.
Right. And I could also just Bride of Frankenstein in here because,
she would love it.
I do what I want. But yeah. I think it's working. There is little smoke above the cauldrons, but it's a little bit too samey with my yellow, but I don't give a shit about that. But yeah, it's like
cute. Yes, I see it now.
Color, my main color is a hedgehog fibers yarn that I was some of the first sock yarn I ever bought. And it's called Banana Legs, which I think is the funniest color name ever. And it has little bits of green, so I don't know. But anyway, it looks like green smog, which I love. So
love those hedgehog yellows. Yeah. She does a good job with those.
100%.
Yeah. So holiday sweater knit along. We kicked that off basically 14 minutes after we kicked off. We ended Sleeptember. So now it is officially holiday sweater knit along. We are including every holiday. All of them.
And so that's why I'm trying to ease people in because we also this week, Holiday Spectacular is back, baby. And we launched it this week. We're just throwing all the holiday goodness at you. And some people are resistant. Some people feel like it's early, blah, blah, blah. But when we say holiday, we mean shoot the works. And in particular, if you're trying to have a festive winter holiday garment, now is the time you gotta start knitting. And even if you want like something spooky in time for Halloween, now's the time. So I'm just giving you options out here. You can fully just make, like Natalie, something spooky. You can do a winter theme, or you can do Mardi Gras like Rochelle. You've got, it runs the gamut is the entire point.
Yep, absolutely. And remember, spooky season really never ends, right? So Laura, when you finish those cauldron socks, you're obviously not going to stop wearing them because it's not October anymore. They're going to be awesome all the time.
No, I mean, all the things that they ascribe to witches are really just about women living their best lives in the woods. So,
and also trying to help people, like trying to help good people and trying to murder bad people.
And cleaning out like dirty houses are useful. So I can just pop these on and go live my best life in the woods. So.
Yes, we love that, which we like to do a lot. I cannot tell you how inspired I was from at the last retreat, just walking by the table where you all were doing your doodle meeting. I walked by, I took like 6 pictures of random piles of doodles on the table, and then I kept walking to get a cookie. And that alone was enough for me to design an entire holiday sweater from. All right. It was, it was about a 90-second drop by. And now I have a whole sweater. Okay.
I mean,
so I got it started.
Yay! Oh,
so here's the top of it.
It matches my garment today.
Holly situation. It really does. It's like a little darker and a little greener, Laura, but it has that same vibe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's really awesome, I think, is this is giving me a proper jump into my whole design your own yoke sweater situation.
Yes.
And so it's very fun to go into my worksheets before the class starts next month and like do the things that I'm going to tell people to do rather than just do it like I know it's going to work, but actually using them is so fun. I'm kind of smart. And just like getting it and having everything work out, man, that feels good.
It does.
So
yeah.
little bit of a boost for me. I've got my whole thing planned out. It's going to be adorable. It's very reindeer forward.
I love reindeer forward, as you know.
Yeah. We love reindeer forwardness. So mine's reindeer forward. So take a look for this. I'm fully addicted. It is baseball postseason. I have a lot of games to watch.
Exactly.
So this is going to continue to grow. And also, if designing your own yoke sweater sounds like fun to you, there are like 3 spots left in both of the classes that I'm teaching starting in November. You can knit any yoke sweater. We're sizing it completely with what's going on with your bod. You don't have to have reindeers all over it, even if you don't want to. But I mean, at this point, why wouldn't you want to just have reindeers all over it?
You really should.
Laura, how many reindeers do you have on your holiday sweater?
Only 8 right now, which is going to change.
Pretty good, though.
It's going to change. One of the cool things that was, thank you for auditing our doodle discussion.
Got a lot out of that 90 seconds. I can't imagine what everyone else got out of like the whole sesh.
Oh my God. Well, it was, I had 2 alums of my Design Your Own Vest class there. And it re-inspired me to offer that class as well. So coming up in the new year, it's happening. But so this, using my numbers from my Design Your Own Vest class, I've started my holiday sweater, very Ralph Lauren. But you can start you can start to see my giant reindeer.
Oh my God, they have the knobbiest knees.
They do. They were like,
they do. They look like they're dancing.
Yeah. So it's nuts.
I love them. These are the farting reindeer, right?
Right. So the chart has inexplicably little halos above each booty of the reindeer. And funnily enough, I don't actually like that. So I think the halo is weird to me, but I'm back and forth. I might do just a little check above the reindeer booty, or I might turn them into clouds and then they really will look like farts, which is kind of funny to me. So in such a classy sweater. So
you could just put in a ladder back to
yes, for sure, which I have been doing thanks to our ladder back session. I was very inspired. Nice. So I've been ladder backing all the live long day.
Because I would imagine when I was looking at those doodles, I think she does a really good job of making sure that the floats aren't too long. Yeah. So I would imagine with that,
the exception being this broomstick. I mean, that's an entire black line across the, but when you do fingering, catching your floats is a little more chill. When you're doing,
you can like hide it in the other one since it's only one row.
Totally.
But still.
But I love a high contrast. And so I love and need like a dark background and a real light contrast color.
Good.
And so ladder back jacquard, like adding ladder back jacquard behind these like seas of white seemed like the move. So yeah. Game time decision, a lot of game time decisions around here. That's inspiration. You just got to go with it. But we'll see if
you're designing your own shit. You get to do that. That's what's really fun about it.
It's so fun. So we'll see what kind of fart clouds happen above my reindeers. And then the beauty of Design Your Own Vest is then I'll then rotate this so that the deer will actually be centered on my tum and be in line with the V and not just kind of wherever. So fun.
One deer per tit. That's how we do.
But this is all Doodles. Like from to here, this is all from Doodles. So it's just like really plug and play. And for me, just like Allison's design your own yoke class, you get worksheets, you get the framework, and then you get to be your own designer.
Yeah.
And it's like evergreen. So it's just like really having the little sequencing thing and having us to coach you through it. Infinite possibilities. So I'm very excited.
Cute. Yeah. Cute.
That's the story.
Love it. Can't wait to see more. More doodles.
Yeah. I find this was one whole skein of Scout in Navy. I think that's pretty good. That's gotten me almost 10 inches of bod out of one skein of Scout. So I'm pretty impressed with that.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah. You basically you hardly need any more.
But Allyson has just started because baseball is going to be tempting her over the next couple of days. But you should go to our knit along space at Laura Allyson Party and read Allison's plans and look at her charts, because you're just not ready. Like, it is reindeer forward, but it's also a little know me forward, and just general fun forward. And you should really check it out. So
I like the snowman too. I think they're super cute.
Oh my God,
yeah, I'm really excited about knitting it more. As it turns out, there's nothing better than color work. It's just the best.
Motivating. Like, it's so motivating, and there's a reason I love it so much, because if this was just stockinette, I would have stopped here and thrown it in the trash. So there's merits for just a good old plain stockinette knit. This is a plain old stockinette just with marled yarn, but I love
it's hard to get through. Yeah, it's hard to get through. So yeah, I am very excited about getting back to that sweater once I get more bras.
Good for you. Taking care of business.
Work first,
yes.
Then do your other work, Laura. That's what I'm always telling you.
I know, it's true. And I have worked on my porcelain sweater a little today, so don't worry. Don't worry. That's work. But yeah, I just I feel for the first time in weeks not in a giant rush, because I have a couple of days before our staycation dye studio on Sunday, and which is sold out, and everyone is so excited. So I'm just taking time to fall staycation. So I'm just taking time to get excited about my knitting again, because it feels good. We all talk. I have a lot of conversations with party people, Allyson. I'm sure you do too, where sometimes someone will pop up in my inbox and just be like, hey, I haven't been around the party in a while. I haven't really been knitting, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, they feel like they have to explain themselves. And it's like, crafting is, for me, it comes in various forms of inspiration. You never know when you're going to be inspired for the next thing. And that's why we try to build this community, so that you can dip in and out as needed and constantly give you new ideas, because you never know, you could fall back in love over a cauldron sock. This could be bringing people back right now. You know what I mean?
I think it is. That's the different work that you were doing when you weren't doing your other work. It's the different work. Yeah. We got to bring the people in.
This is fun. I'm watching Netflix and I'm doing this. I'm bumming off work. And I was like, well, actually,
it's all work. Yeah, it's all work. I always tell people that knitting will always be there for you, because it will. It doesn't. Once it starts feeling like work, you don't want to do it, right? No. So it'll always be there for you when you need it, if you need it. That's the great thing about our hobbies. Sometimes you feel like doing it, sometimes you don't, and it'll be there for you in your giant organized situation of craft supplies. Yeah, 100%. It'll be there for you. Yeah,
it will. And then that's the nice part. Like, we talk about stash as being this big burden and all of these things, but the nice part about having tools and stash at your disposal is, if you get a whim, having something to dig through and just start right away, there is no better feeling on God's green earth. Like, getting a whim and then putting an order in online and waiting for the yarn to arrive is very challenging, because you just want to chase that feeling sometimes. So it's nice to have a reasonable. Tommy's like, no, all whims all the time. Fair.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I love that. Yeah, it's so hard to wait for things to be delivered.
Yes.
So yeah, the less you have to order, the better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put in, speaking of, I put in a Joanne, an order with our girl, Joanne.
Oh, well, how's she doing? How's she treating you?
She is unhinged. I don't know who is over there planning what goes in boxes, but every single time I get something from Joanne, it is in the most opposite box size that you would assume that a normal, reasonable person, what it is they must just not have box shapes available to all people. So then you order like 4 zippers and a like spool of thread, and they put it in a box that's like this giant. It was,
I remember
so
you had
crazy.
this with polyfill one time where like you ordered a roll that was like this big and it came in a box that was the size of my screen. So like relative to the box, it was like this big. And you were just like,
what's
but I bet
here?
the cats were fucking pumped, man.
They love it. They love a box. They love a box. Yeah. And they love a giant box that they can both fit in.
Well, I'll never get over the fact that when Caitlin put in a Joann's order and ordered 2 yards of fabric, which is like a reasonable amount of yards of fabric to order. She got 2 cuts of 1 yard of the fabric, which you want the continuous fabric for those of you that don't sew, because you want to cut your own shapes into it. So then having it cut in half, that's not very helpful. And if that is your option, you would expect to have an extreme discount, is what you would expect. I just think about that a lot. I think about that a lot.
Yeah. Joanne, love her.
There's a place for Joanne. There really is a place for Joanne.
But I had a 25% off your entire order coupon, and I used it. I used it to within an inch of its life.
Proud of you.
That's what you got to do.
I'm going to be hitting up the...
Julie Churchill is exactly right. I miss fabric.com so much. I'm always like, what do I do? Where do I go? Because it was so good for research. I know. I'm with you, Julie. Yeah. Sorry, Laura. That was important.
No, it's true. It's just hard because, it was weird to watch Amazon kill it, like buy it and then and then kill it. And it was like, I spent so much time feeling guilty about this because you're Amazon and then you killed it. So it's like, I don't know how to feel. Betrayed, but not surprised.
It's like that when the raptor and the pterodactyl are fighting.
Yes, like, apex predator. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and, I'm going to die regardless. So I don't know.
Super clear on our ethics here. We as Chicagoans really do not have like a conveniently located, organized garment fabric store. So that's what we would love to shop local. There's just not a good option for Northsiders. There just really isn't. So lest you get concerned about our values, that was just, it is what it is, And
I feel like everybody's just doing the best they can.
Yes.
And sometimes you get a 25% off coupon and you don't want to take the Western bus to the Joanne in person. So you just know you're going to have 6 weird shaped boxes for all 7 items that you purchased. And that's just what happens.
Well, and pro tip, if you are needing a last minute craft supply from our friend Joanne, if it involves fabric of any kind, don't set foot in there until November. It is
November
amateur hour.
2nd. Yes.
Allyson and I always say that you do not set foot in a Joanne Fabrique in October because it's the amateurs. Nobody knows how to do anything. People are buying whole bolts of tulle and hot glue guns, and you want to stay far, far, far away. They don't understand the lines and they're yelling. Don't go.
Yeah. And everyone's angry. Like if you come into a space and you don't know how it works, the least you can do is stop yelling at everyone. But that is not the attitude of a 24-year-old man who's never stepped in Joann's before and who's really trying to win his Halloween costume contest.
Yes.
All right.
And And yes, Pat, we do know Vogue in Evanston for sure, but in Chicago,
We don't live in Evanston.
yeah,
That's
it's a
different
separate
place.
city. It's a separate city.
Yeah.
So, but yes, there is a ton of fleece too. Yeah, and people like want to make those like hand tie blankets and stuff. And again, there is a lid for every pot and a craft for every person. But I do not.
I don't have to see it.
I don't want to stand behind it while it's being cut. So, and talk about understaffed. Whew, our Joann's employees are underpaid and overworked, and so they are nowhere to be found.
Lots of turnover.
Yes.
Lots of turnover.
Yes. HSC
Tommy, is that true? I love that. Tommy just reported that Joann just opened an entire aisle of 2-yard pre-cut fleece pieces because people are
that should have happened in 2009.
No kidding.
When Pinterest started, that aisle should have opened. I'm just saying.
They don't have their nose to the grindstone, their ear to the pulse. They're not understanding what's going on, what people need.
I love Julie Churchill reporting from San Antonio, Texas, that they also have the fleece aisle. But the thing with, I assume, Texas is that you're just full blast AC 10 months out of the year. And so everybody immediately walks in the house and is like, where's my blanket? That's my guess.
Fleece.
So they want their fleeces.
I love that. Julie Churchill just confirmed it. That is exactly how it happens.
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't use a blanket more than when I am somewhere with central air conditioning in the summer because I immediately walk in, the sweat freezes, and then I'm like, so
yeah, fleece, and you want the fleece. You want the fleece blanket. Yeah.
Oh, Tommy,
so
2009 is when you made fleece blanket. I know. I'm not new to these crafting streets. I know when things happened. I know. That's when we were all making those fleece tie blankets.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I still have some. They're great.
Yeah, they last forever.
The dogs like them because you can throw them right in the washer and the dryer. Yep. You don't have to worry about a damn thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Poor Julie Churchill says that it's 75 degrees where she is now, and she needs all the fleece blankets. So, Julie, there's a whole aisle at Joann that you can go and you can pick out your matching fleece and make it. I believe in you.
Oh, my God.
I love it.
So, Allyson, tell me about your afternoon plans. Back to bras?
Back to bras. Yeah, I got to feel, I got to prep. I'm going to be teaching bra making. So I have to go in with a lot of confidence.
Yes.
So I'm going to build myself some confidence this afternoon. And my viewing of choice while I have been sewing is a good old rewatch of New Girl, which is
perfect
just
time of year for that.
Oh my God, it is the perfect time of year. 2012 was so long ago.
The
These
references
kids are living their best life, and I want them to stay in 2012. It's really only downhill from there, kids. So bleak.
Schmidt has written a children's book and has been making the rounds reading that book to children. And that keeps popping up on my social media feed, and it's great. So
yeah,
I'm glad Schmidt's out
I
here.
never am sad.
Job.
He saw Taylor Swift a lot this summer too. I was seeing him at all those eras. I don't know. I do not follow him on Instagram, but
energy. Which is right for
Instagram
him,
really wanted me to see that. Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did multiple times. All right. How about you, Miss Laura? What are you up to this afternoon?
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm going to stay doodling. I'm just going to stay doodling. I got to wind a crap ton of yarn. And I need to get ready for my kin song class that starts on Monday. Nice. So yeah, that's the tentative plan. There's so much I want to do. So I'm doing a lot of journaling. Like I'm trying to stay organized with all my craft hope and dreams. Because I came back with like 4 different petite knit sweaters I want to get on the needles. So I physically can't do that. So I'm sorting stash, labeling, making notes. It's that kind of afternoon. So
nice. Yeah. I love that. I am waiting. Speaking of waiting for a fabric order, I ordered some fabric from Missouri Star Quilt Company.
Amazing.
It is not quilting. That is where I go for my denim, I guess now. Why not? I have a pant in my heart, Laura, to bring to Camp Workroom Social that I think is going to make me really happy. So I'm just waiting. I'm
Oh,
waiting to see. Yeah.
will we
I'm
be
waiting
able
to
to?
see.
No, we won't have a live next week.
No, we won't, because we'll be at camp next
We
week.
sure will. We sure will. So I guess 2 weeks from now we'll see if that happened.
Yeah, we'll see. But it's been saying that it's going to be delivered for the past 3 days. So you know how that works. We'll see. We'll see if I ever get it.
I believe.
I have enough bras to get me through today.
Amazing.
And then we'll see where the afternoon takes me. But I have my doodles too.
Just keep on doodling.
Keep on doodling. Yeah, keep on doodling.
5 to 10 yards. I don't know.
5 to 10.
I do have a like oversized. Sorry, I do have a denim jacket with lots of positive ease that I want to make, but I don't think I need quite 5 yards for that. It'll be a lot.
Well,
not 5 yards.
It's good that's good for the stash. You always need denim.
You do.
Yeah.
And I'd love a pair of denim overalls, but ooh. Well, Julie, thanks for the heads up. I'm going to do some looking over at the Pacific Denim. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Get it. All right. Well, Laura, good luck with your cauldrons.
Good luck with your bras and finding confidence, because I know that's an area that you struggle with so severely, just crippling lack of self-confidence. But it's good to practice. Always good to practice.
It's good to practice when you're going to teach people things.
Yes.
And be prepared both in body and mind. So that's what I'll be doing now, because camp really snuck up on me. I think October really snuck up on me because it acts like August outside. So it is still hard for me to understand that this is actually happening next week. But this is really going to help. Having this done.
Yeah, the amount of sweat on my lower back due to this garment, even though it is sleeveless.
Yeah, you went for it.
It's out of control. Yeah,
you look great. I really pussied out. Yeah.
You know what? I'm forcing it, but I don't care. Like I need people to get back into knitting again. It's freaking
it's good for the brand.
It's freaking time.
It's good for the brand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, for Laura, make some time to knit today, so that maybe some cauldrons, maybe some doodles. Those of you who are going to be at Camp Workroom Social next week, we will see you in person. It's going to be awesome. Otherwise, we will be live again in 2 weeks. See you then. Bye, everybody.
Will we even be then? We'll have to see.
Who knows? Bye.